Welcome to the third workshop. And today we're going to be working with tempera paints. And I'm so excited because, well, it's really kind of a mix up. I love watercolor paints, but I love tempera paints. Now, what we're going to be doing today is working with tempera paints. So we're going to be using both liquid tempera paints and pan water, or some people call them like cake tempera paints. So basically they're dry. They might even look like watercolor to you, but some people have tempera paints that look like this. Like, look how big this is. Let me see if I can open it up. See how big it is? See my finger? They're almost the size of my finger. So this is like a puck or a cake. Now, other people might have some tempera that looks like this. So this is the same stuff as this, except it's dry. So whatever you have is great. If you have both, even better, because we're going to be starting our project today with this. Now, I'm also going to use a bunch of different brushes, and I have a really thick brush. I have a thin pointy one, and even thinner pointy one, and kind of like a bigger one. Grab as many brushes as you have around your house, because we can experiment with the different brushes and we'll see what they can do when you're working with tempera paint. And then the liquid paints I have are called Crayola, and they come in a really big container like this. Now you might have some paints that, oops, I almost knocked over all my supplies. You might have some paints that look like this. These are acrylic paints, and guess what? They're going to work just fine for this project. They still mix really, really well. In fact, these are really lovely. Okay, now I have 4 colors. I have a blue, even though it looks kind of purple. I have a red, and I have a yellow. And these are called what? Do you guys know? The group of those 3 colors are called, and I'll give you a hint. It's the name of this business, the Art Lessons Primary. Spelled a little differently, but these are primary colors. And I also have some white, and we're going to be mixing white into our primary colors to get a new color. And those are called like pastel colors or tints. So guys, I'm so excited. You're going to need a paper plate. I have a couple because, you know, I might use more paint than you. And I have some napkins just to keep my paintbrushes kind of nice and dry. Okay, I also have some papers. Now what we're going to do, we're going to be using big pieces of paper, and we're going to be drawing some shapes. Now you can do circles, you can do lines, but it's basically just to get the party started. We're not going to take too much time. And if you do lines, you can even do squiggle lines. So what I want you to do, kiddos, I want you to get out a piece of paper. And my paper is really big, but I only want to use half because we're going to only be together for about 30 or 40 minutes today. So we want to do 2 things. We want to do a little practice with our paints, and then we want to get into mixing paints. So go ahead and fold your paper in half if you have a really big sheet like me, or if you have a small sheet, that's perfect. So let's get going. Now, I'm going to use my Faber-Castell connector paints. We use these a lot, don't we? I use these a lot because I love the colors. So now I'm going to switch my screen so you can see it from the top down. So give me a minute here. This is pretty good. Okay. So you can see how small my paper is. And I want to take my brush. I'm starting out with a really small one. And go ahead and take your brush. And I have my water right here. And I'm going to just swirl it around in whatever color you want. Doesn't matter, any color. And I'm going to swirl it around about 10 times because these are dry paints and they don't get activated until you add water. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to start at the top of the paper and I want to bring your brush towards your belly. Now, it's really important that you paint with the tip of your brush. Oops, here we go. Paint with the tip, so don't press it on down. Now let's try this again. I think I'll put my water on this side and I'm going to try it again. And this time I'm going to press as lightly as I can. In fact, I'm just going to drag my bristles so lightly. I'm not even pressing. I'm just letting gravity do its work. And I'm going nice and slow. And look how skinny that line is. Look at the difference. This was the one that I pressed hard with. And this is the one that I let go really, really lightly. Okay, so now I'm going to try doing the same thing with a bigger brush. I'm going to get lots of water on my brush, and this time I think I'll switch my colors to pink. I'm going to go around and around. Do you think I'm going to just go around once? No, I'm going around about 10 times. When you see the color on your brush, you know it's ready. Okay, this time I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to start at the top, and I want to press down. Not too much, just enough so the bristles bend a little bit. Just like that. And now I want to do the very same thing, except this time I want to go super light. Like I'm just not even pressing. I'm just letting the brush do the work. Look at the difference in the width of the line. When you practice your art, you get to choose if you want to press harder or softer with your brush. It really makes a difference. Okay, now I'm going to do another brush, and I think I'll use this pretty orange. And I'm going to make it darker with my darker orange. Okay, a little bit more water. I can always tell. The more you do art, the more you can tell how much water you want. Okay, you ready? I'm going to press a little bit harder. See how I'm bringing the brush towards my belly? And look how much color I'm getting on my brush. That's because I really worked hard at getting enough water in my little palette. Now look at this brush. See how thick it is? But look if I do it this way. I'm gonna hold my brush straight up and down, and I'm just gonna let this part of the brush come towards me. Look how cool that is. You can make these lines really close together. I like the look of that. So go ahead and practice that. That's cool. Now, once you do that, I'm going to add some water and see what happens if I just let the water take over. Oh, it's almost the same color. That looks pretty cool. Now, boys and girls, if you don't have as many lines here as me, that's okay. You don't have to work as quickly as I do. I work quickly because I know that your parents are going to whisk you off to dinner or bed or something, and I want to do art with you. So now I'm going to do my regular paintbrush, and this time let's have some fun. We did some pretty stripes. I really like these stripes. They kind of match my shirt. Look at my shirt. See? Purple and blue and orangey colors. Okay, so now I'm just going to use some yellow. Oh, I forgot to have some fun. I wanted to do some wiggle lines, kind of like a snake. So let's see if you can make some wiggles. You just go back and forth, back and forth. And let's take some brush. See how I note how I clean my brush between mixing the colors? Because sometimes with tempera paints, you want your colors to be nice and clean. Look at that. Let's start from the bottom up. That's harder for me to do that. Okay, that's it, boys and girls. That is it for our first experiment. And this is all to show you how you can choose your brush and make different lines with whatever brush you choose. Isn't that fun? Okay, so now we're going to transition. We're not going to put these away just yet. We are going to be using these in just a few minutes. But now what I want you to do is get out your paper plate. I'm going to put this piece of art onto the side, and I have my paper plate. And what I want you to do is take some white. If you don't have white, that's okay. But I'm going to squeeze a big blob of white paint right in the middle. If you're young, you might need your mom or dad or someone who's looking after you to help you. Now I have some yellow, and I'm going to pour a pretty big blob of yellow right there. I have some red, and I'm going to pour a pretty big blob right there of red. It looks like a quarter. And then I'm going to put some blue over here. Now I already know I'm going to use more yellow than I'm going to use blue. Do you guys know why? Because blue is super strong and you only need a little bit of it. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side just for now. So how y'all doing? Are you having fun? Okay, kiddos, I have a big sheet of paper and I'm wondering if you have a sheet of paper that's the same size as me. I'm going to do something, and this is completely optional. Optional means that you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm going to take my bottom edge, I'm going to match it up to my top edge, and I'm going to make a fold. That's all I'm going to do. Then I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to take this end and bring it up here, press your finger right there, and then do it again. Press that down. So I kind of folded my paper up into a little rectangle. Look at that. Now I want to unfold it and I want to just press it down. So all I did, kids, is created little sections, and we're going to paint different things in each little rectangle. That's the only reason why I folded my paper. So if you didn't fold your paper, that's okay. You can do the same thing. You can just kind of put your little shapes wherever you want. But you know, if you wanted to do this, that's great. Okay, now I want to make sure that I have some paper towels. I'm gonna put those right there next to my water. Now, this is super fun. We're gonna make lots and lots of circles. So I want you to take your brush and I want you to make sure that it's nice and clean. And what I do is I just tap gently the bottom, my brush into the bottom of my clean water. Then I want you to just to dry off your brush just a little bit. And I want you to scoop up just like that, just like you're scooping up a little bit of ice cream. And I want you to make a circle in one of these rectangles. And I'm making a circle that's kind of small. It looks like I don't know, like a lemon. See? Go ahead and do that. Brandon's having fun. I'm happy to hear that, Brandon. Did you make your yellow circle? Choose the yellow for now. Just follow along. You don't have to choose all the same colors as me. Now what I want to do, I'm not even going to clean my brush, guys. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to dip it in the white. I didn't even clean it. I'm just dipping in the white. So I have a big blob of white on my paper or on my paintbrush. Now I'm going to choose another area and I'm going to paint a big circle, not a dot, but a circle. So I'm going around. It's kind of mixing with some paint that I had on the bottom of this paper. But look at that. I mixed white with yellow and look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. I want to do something different. I want to now tap my brush into the red and into the yellow. What do you think is going to happen? I have some yellow, I have some red. I don't know. I think we're just going to find out. I want to do another big circle. This time I want you to mix all those colors right on the paper. There's a little bit of white, there's a little bit of red, there's a lot of yellow. Ooh, what color is that? It looks like an apricot color. You can mix it in and you can blend it up. Don't worry if the outsides are all kind of rough and bumpy. That makes it pretty. Okay, so now I have some yellow, I have some apricot or an orange, and I have some white and yellow, like a sherbet color. Okay, let's do some more. Let's take your paintbrush. I'm gonna dip it in my water. Look at this, guys. I'm just dipping in and dipping out. That's all I'm doing. And I want to dip it in my red and just kind of going back and forth a bit. I love red, guys. So now you have a choice. You can make a circle or a dot wherever you want. And so I think I'm going to make two. I'm going to make a dot right here, but this one's going to be really tiny. And then I want to dip my paintbrush in some white because you know what's going to happen. What happens when you mix white with red? Favorite color coming up. It's going to be pink. So I think I'm going to make my pink right here. So make your pink either a circle or a dot. And you can choose wherever you want it. You can make it inside something or in one of these other rectangles, whatever you want. That is the prettiest color I've ever seen. I'd like to have a lipstick in that color. Ooh, I think I like it so much, I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna dip my paintbrush. I'm not even cleaning it. And I'm gonna dip it in the red and I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna go around this big yellow blob that looked like an egg, but now it doesn't. Look how I'm going around, but I'm staying inside my little rectangle as best I can. That's not gonna last long. So kids, look what we're getting. We're getting lots of pink. Olivia was right, she has pink. So I have red, I have orange, I have pink, I have raspberry, I have yellow. Okay, now I'm gonna clean my brush. So boys and girls, this is how I want you to clean this brush. Tap it in the bottom of your water container and then just do a little swirl and then drag the bristles across the lip of the paint container, the water container. And then if you're not sure if it's dry or clean, just kind of wipe it on the paper towel. Mine's pretty clean. Okay, we're doing something different. Now we're going to mix some yellow and just put that there, yellow and blue. Okay, so I have a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue. Some yellow already on my paper. So now I'm gonna make a nice big circle. That's kind of a cool color. Pretty green. I would call that a Kelly green. Okay, so did you guys get green? Now you can make that green really light by adding more yellow to your brush. And this time I'm going to do a big ring. Ooh, it looks like a lime. Nice. Okay, add a little bit of white if you want to. Ooh, oh my goodness, look at the color. I don't know if you can see how pretty this is. Now my circle is not perfectly circle-y. It's more of like a kind of a rounded rectangle. And I like that because I love this color so much. I want to make it as big as I can. Yes, yes, I love that color. Okay, I love that color so much. I am not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to dip it in some white and then dip it in some blue. Do you see my colors now? Blue and white on my brush. Listen, you can just mix whatever color you want. You don't have to follow my rules. Sometimes when you have to follow someone else, you get a little confused, but let's just do the best we can. And I'm making a big circle in this rectangle right here. Now, if you have a different rectangle going, that is good. I love the white mixed with blue. And look, you can see my yellow poking through. So yellow and blue, you guys already got it. It makes green. So now I'm just gonna take a little bit of blue and I'm gonna decide, I just think the blue is so strong unless you add a little bit of white. Look at the difference. It's like so black, it's so dark, and now it's a little bit lighter. You can see the blue color a little bit more if you add some white. So you get to choose about where you want to add that blue, and I'm going to put mine right here, but I'm going to make another circle, not a dot. And maybe I'll make it just a little bit darker, and I'll go around this color. There, that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. I like that blue. Make it a little bit lighter, I think. And I'm gonna go around this big or little red dot. I wanna make my blue just a little bit darker. Ooh, someone said she made mint. Yes, that's exactly what you did. You figured it out. I love mint. And look how my mint and my red kind of started to smush together. Can you see the color that happened? It's like a brown. I love brown when it happens like that. You're mixing two complementary colors. Okay, so now there's a color I haven't made yet. Have you guys guessed what it is? What color haven't I made? What color haven't you made yet? Is there another color you'd like to? Oh, someone said purple, and you are so smart. Okay. Who knows how to make purple? Does anyone know how to make it? Who can guess? Can you write it in the chat? Well, someone got it right away. If you mix a little bit of red and a tiny bit of blue, believe me, the blue is so powerful. Let's see what happens. I think I'm going to make a circle here. Okay, when you use these paints and you want to mix purple, do you know what? You're always going to get something really, really dark. So my recommendation, trust me, this works. I want you to add a little bit of white. And it's really going to soften it, and it's going to turn it into a lighter color of purple. Adding white really, really helps. Now, isn't that pretty? I'm going to take more red and more white, and I think I'm going to go around this. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to go around my big blue circle. Yeah. And if you add more red, what happens is that it gets a little bit more pink. So now, boys and girls, what you can do is start finishing up your art by choosing colors, mixing your own set of colors. I think I'll do some purple, blue, white. That's a new color for me, purple, blue, white. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I think I'll put it up here too. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm just going to dip my paintbrush in now in the white and see what happens. This is really quite fun to do on a Friday night. I'm wondering what else you have planned to do today, or what time it is in your neck of the woods. Okay. I'm going to keep making some colors. I think I'd like to have some more orange. Now, boys and girls, I'm mixing some orange together. That means I'm going to use yellow. I want my brush to be really clean, or else I'm going to have a big old pile of mud on my hands. So I'm going to take a little bit of red and a lot of yellow and some white. Where can I put it? I think I'll put it right here. And notice how I'm mixing my paint colors really right on the paper. That's a great way to do it. Oh, look at this spot right here. It's ready for a good color. Ooh, that got all mixed. And I think I'll make another tiny line around here. Ooh, that's kind of a cool color. It looks like straw. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush, because I am experiencing some heavy mixing here. And maybe some, oh, how about turquoise? Let's mix some blue, some yellow, and some white together. See, blue, yellow, and white. And let's smush it all around. I'm gonna add a little bit more white. And I'm gonna paint that right here. So that's kind of like a teal color. That's pretty. Blue, yellow, white. And maybe I'll put one right here. And maybe I'll just do some little dots around this guy. Okay, boys and girls, I'm all finished. And that's all we're going to be doing today. So if you want to keep painting around the background, you could do that too, or you could leave it white. So I want to show you a few things, kids. Hold on. Okay, I'm back and I'm super happy with my work of art. Look at this. I wish I could see yours, but I want to show you all the things that you can create now that you know how liquid tempera paint and cake tempera paint are different. So look at all of the art that I've created. Just look. Hey guys, don't ever throw away your papers. Because you can use your papers to create beautiful art. And we do that in primary. Okay, look at this. Look at all the dots. Isn't that fun? This was made with liquid paints, liquid tempera paints, and some markers and some oil pastels. But look, can you tell what I did here? Look at these little dots here, these little circles. Do you know how I made them? I'll show you. I'm going to show you right now. Do you see these? If you dip your paintbrush or your marker end in paint and then tap on your artwork, that's how you make those little circles. Isn't that fun? And we learn that in primary. We do all of those types of projects. Hey, look at this. This is a project that our primary kids did in August. And can you see the parts that were made with cake tempera paints and the parts that were made with liquid? Tell me which sections were made with liquid. See if you can tell. If you said all of the leaves, these were made with liquid. We dipped our paintbrush in green and yellow and white, and we made these little leaves. And then this is made, the water is made with the cake tempera, with this. So we're using two types of paint in one artwork. Isn't that cool? And look at this. Here's a butterfly. The butterfly itself, we used this paint, but the background, we used this paint. See how it's kind of different? You can smush colors together with the liquid paint. Look at this cute little hedgehog. Look how cute he is. We used these paints, all the dry cake tempera paints for this little guy. Isn't he cute? He's my favorite. Now, remember how I said to keep your paint paper because you never know when you're going to use it. We cut out we made some papers in primary, and then we saved our papers and we used them to put into our artwork. Isn't that cool? But look at the background. We used liquid tempera paints to make that beautiful sky that our angel is flying through. And what else do I have here? Oh my gosh, I have so much. Well, look at this. So do you guys recognize this kind of color? I think we made it in the teal. Yeah, we use blue and yellow and white to make that color. I think she's quite a fancy looking sheep, don't you think? So these are all of the different projects that you can make and use. Oh wait, look at this. Okay, this one. Who recognizes the inspiration artist behind this arrangement of flowers? Does anyone know? Oh, someone said, see, you are sharp. Van Gogh, you didn't spell it correctly, but you got the right idea. Yeah, this is an inspiration from Vincent van Gogh, his sunflower arrangements. Okay, everyone, I think we have officially gone into the 30-minute mark. I can't believe all the things that we accomplished in 30 minutes. I mean, you made lines and you made some concentric circles filled with different colors, and you created some tints using liquid tempera paint. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I love creating art with you. And boys and girls, it's been really fun. So I will see you later. Bye, guys.